sleep number bed. You get to determine mattress or what do you want a little cushier. Now, it couldn't be easier with their new Sleep IQ technology. Nothing to wear, nothing to turn on. You go to sleep, sensors with the dual-layer technology inside the bed, track how well you're sleeping. Now, right now, during their Veterans Day sale, you can save $600 on their top-rated Sleep Number i8 bed, the lowest price ever. And you can see why Sleep Number was named the best of 2014 by a leading consumer magazine. Tamara, you need to find your Sleep Number setting today. It looks like you need Genucel for your eyes and a Sleep Number bed to sleep. And the way you can find the Sleep Number store near you, there's 450 of them nationwide, is call 800-SLEEP-29. By the way, Michaela, how do you like your Sleep Number bed?
65.
65. Linda, what's your Sleep Number setting there, darling?
More than yours.
Really?
Whatever your number is going to be, I'm going to one-up you.
Oh, good grief. But anyway, you can find it nationwide. Call 800-SLEEP. Do you not love the bed, though? Is it not the best bed you ever had?
I love it. My dog loves it. The cat loves it. My husband loves it. It's
they all sleep in your bed?
Everybody sleeps in my bed.
Yeah, she has one.
I have one.
You don't buy one. There's 450 stores nationwide. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. Hannity tonight with Bush 41 and Bush 43 down in Texas. Straight ahead.
Government's got problems. He's got solutions. America listens to the Sean Hannity Show.
Hi, it's John Batchelor. Join me weeknights at 11 here on WPG Talk Radio, 1450.
Now, you go to any alarm company site, they're everywhere. Asterisk, here, there, everywhere. Free security system. Well, it sounds great, but look at the asterisk. Now, you're locked in, sky-high bills, no way out, and that's why I trust Simply Safe. No contracts, no installation fees, top-of-the-line security that only costs you $15 a month. That's $15 a month, 24/7, 365 protection. There's no better choice than Simply Safe. Just go to simplysafehannity.com for an extra 10% off. That's simplysafehannity.com.
Okay, the Atlanta trip. I have the rental car receipt, but no proof that I actually flew there. I have 2 breakfast receipts, but no dinners, and apparently I slept in the lobby because I have nothing from the hotel.
Traveling for work is work enough. Concur makes it easy. Your business travelers take pictures of receipts and submit expense reports from their smartphones. With Concur, they get to throw away the receipts, you get to rule the budget, and everyone goes home happy. Test drive it free at tryconcur.com.
WPG Talk Radio 1450 is your home for Harry Hurley. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10.
Hurley in the morning.
Just want to say I appreciate what you do, and it's almost a shame I can't record everything because between Dave Ramsey and you and Hannity, it's a great lineup all day.
I've been a fan of Harry's and listening for 21 years.
Hurley in the morning.
I listen to Harry Hurley because that's the community station. Harry's always been upfront, doesn't varnish the truth. Harry's a stand-up guy, always been there, tells the truth in broadcasting.
I listen to Harry Hurley because he has the pulse of the community.
Harry Hurley is a man of honesty and integrity. He's the best. There's no competition.
We are all blessed to be able to be affiliated with Harry.
Thank Harry for all he's done for the community. Thank God for Harry Hurley.
Harry Hurley, weekday mornings from 6 till 10. WPG Talk Radio 1450.
You're the big cheese, the CEO, the owner, the boss. The world is your oyster. Or it would be if you only had one thing. More customers. More customers mean more sales, which mean more profits. The question is how to get those customers. The answer is quite simple. An effective message communicated through successful target marketing. Well, today is your lucky day because Town Square Media Atlantic City is holding our one-day customer appreciation sale today. The most aggressive and competitive advertising rates are available today. Even if your company has never had a relationship with Town Square Media before, you can take advantage of this customer appreciation sale today and today only. Radio marketing, digital advertising, event sponsorship, and more. Let the Town Square marketing team work with you in getting those customers that you need. Now is your chance to plan your advertising for the holidays. Call today 609-645-9797. Town Square Media Professionals can help you build your business beginning today. 609-645-9797.
I remember the moment. I'll never forget that moment.
As long as I live.
As long as I live.
That moment, we arrived in the scene.
The storm had nearly destroyed the area.
This was our own community. Friends, family, people we grew up with, went to school with. We were there to help.
Several of
us were working to rescue a family. They made it down to the storm cellar, but the house collapsed on top of the cellar door and trapped them.
We had chainsaws going, and we had to use Humvees and heavy machinery to move massive trees and debris.
We got them out. We helped a lot of people out.
It felt good to know I could really make a difference.
Right here, close to home, in my state.
It was one of those life-changing moments where I realized I am making a difference in these people's lives and mine. I'm a citizen soldier in the National Guard.
You can serve part-time and be there the moment your community needs you. Learn more at NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the New Jersey National Guard, aired by the New Jersey Broadcasters Association and this station.
If you're over 45, listen, you could be at risk for a heart attack. So let me tell you about a product I take with me everywhere. Urgent RX Critical Care Aspirin. It's a flavored, fast-acting powder that can be taken at the first sign of a heart attack to help increase your odds of survival. If needed, call 911, then rip open the pack, pour the fast-dissolving powder right into your mouth. No water, no pills. Always consult your doctor, though. Get Urgent RX Critical Care Aspirin in a 10-count box at Walmart and Walgreens in the pain relief section. Then give one to everyone you know.
Jeff Musial, the animal guy, as seen on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, is coming to Atlantic Cape Community College on Saturday, November 15th. Come see Jeff as he gives us an amazing look at the world of exotic animals and reptiles. Jeff has been educating people of all ages about many different animal species from around the world. And now he's coming to Mays Landing to entertain your family. Get your tickets on the events page at WPG1450.com. That's Saturday, November 15th with Jeff Musial, the animal guy.
All right, that's going to wrap things up for today. Let not your heart be troubled. We will be back here tomorrow and tonight on Hannity, 10 Eastern on the Fox News Channel. We're going to be joined by President Bush 43 and President Bush 41 talking about, well, what has only happened twice in American history. And that is a father and a son becoming the president of the United States. That's what we were doing down in Texas earlier this week. That's happening tonight, 10 Eastern, Hannity, Fox News. Thanks for being with us. Back here tomorrow.
Big Green Fever savings are back at John Deere. Save on all tractors from the 1 family to the Big 6 Series with 0% financing for 60 months or big cash discounts. Plus, get $1,500 off a 1 family tractor with the purchase of 2 implements. Offer ends February 2nd, 2015, subject to approved installment credit with John Deere Financial. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Visit Taylor & Messick in Harrington for the best deals of the season. Or find us at TaylorMessick.com and MyJohnDeere.com.
Okay, the Atlanta trip. I have the rental car receipt, but no proof that I actually flew there. I have 2 breakfast receipts, but no dinners, and apparently I slept in the lobby because I have nothing from the hotel.
Traveling for work is work enough. Concur makes it easy. Your business travelers take pictures of receipts and submit expense reports from their smartphones. With Concur, they get to throw away the receipts, you get to rule the budget, and everyone goes home happy. Test drive it free at tryconcur.com.
Broadcasting from the world's playground, this is WPG Talk Radio 1450, WPGG Atlantic City at WPG1450.com.
Keeping you and your business safe and sound is the job of Abeta Security. Try your luck in Atlantic City, but never gamble. Your security keeps Atlantic City secure. They're a full-service focus on customer service and training. Abeta Security will come to your business and provide recommendations to maximize the return on your security investment, recognizing that each property and event is unique. Abeta Security is based in Atlantic City, located in the heart of the redevelopment zone. As Abeta Security continues to expand, they offer a myriad of career opportunities and are actively hiring quality candidates for all positions: uniform security, event staff, shift supervisors, and account managers. Go to abetasecurity.com to apply today. Abeta Security, located at 520 Pacific Avenue in the Bella Building in Atlantic City. Online at abetasecurity.com. Abeta Security would like to wish everyone a happy, healthy, and safe holiday season. Abeta Security in Atlantic City for Atlantic City.
The Casino Reinvestment Development Authority is building a better future for our region through strategic initiatives to reposition Atlantic City as a clean and safe, multifaceted, year-round destination and community. Just because the calendar says summer is over doesn't mean the fun has to end. Enjoy Atlantic City's secret season with refreshing walks on the boardwalk and beach, great shopping at Tanger Outlets, an early morning bike ride on the boardwalk, spectacular bayfront views at historic Gardeners Basin, and much more. Exciting entertainment is on tap for this fall with championship boxing, AHL hockey, the annual Classic Car Show, world-class concerts featuring Usher and Alanis Morissette, and free nightly 3D light and sound shows. Meanwhile, the CRDA continues to invest in Atlantic City with the repaving of Pacific Avenue, Atlantic Avenue facade improvements, and construction of nearly 400 new housing units, Bass Pro Shops, Harris Conference Center, and the Lighthouse District Park. Don't stop believing, AC.
Now, WPG Talk Radio 1450 presents Ask the Mayor, presented by the New Jersey Casino Reinvestment Development Authority and Alphatus Security. It's your opportunity to ask Atlantic City Mayor Don Guardian anything you want about the world's playground. To talk to Mayor Guardian, call 407-1450. That's 407-1450. Now, with Atlantic City Mayor Don Guardian, here's Harry Hurley.
Welcome to Ask the Mayor from Town Square Media, Atlantic City. This is Harry Hurley. I host Town Square Media's Hurley in the Morning, Monday through Fridays from 6 a.m. to 10:06 a.m. And once a month, the Atlantic City Mayor Don Guardian comes our way. Most importantly, he answers your questions. Phone lines are open, 609-407-1450. We'll open the phone lines in just a little bit. On behalf of our president of all of our Town Square Media Atlantic City radio stations, Mike Rubel, our executive program director, Chris Coleman, the executive producer and Town Square Media Atlantic City's digital editor, Kyle McCann. It's great to be with you again. You can tweet your questions to Mayor Guardian right now at WPG1450 using hashtag WPG@AskTheMayor. Also on Facebook at facebook.com/WPG1450. And of course, you can call in at 609-407-1450. And we would love to take your phone calls over the next hour and 3 minutes. The mayor gives us 5 minutes overtime each and every program, and we appreciate that. And if you want to mark down for your planning purposes, the December Ask the Mayor program with Atlantic City Mayor Don Guardian is set for Wednesday, December 10th at 6 p.m. Good evening. We want to give you an opportunity to make an opening statement. Mr. Mayor, Don Guardian, it's time to ask the mayor. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Harry. Great to be back on Town Square Radio, WPG 1450 AM. How are we doing?
We are doing great. And I guess I should ask you, not a whole lot has happened in the last 24 hours. Fortuitous timing for tonight's program. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. We went through the summit yesterday. I just received the full report that we downloaded from the CRDA website, and I'm going to be taking it home this weekend and reading it so I can make more intelligent comments about the details of the report. But I have to tell you, Harry, that all three groups, if there are one, and that is a city with our recovery plan, which we will, by the way, be publishing probably not next week, but the following week. Steve Sweeney with the President of the Senate's report, and then John Hanson with his recommendations to the governor. We're all on the same page. Lower the cost of doing government in Atlantic City, lower the cost of the schools in Atlantic City, find some additional state aid for the schools, find additional state aid for the city, come up with a fair and equitable way that casinos can be measured on a regular basis on how they're going to pay the tax assessment, and then put all the other taxes that casinos pay in New Jersey up on the table and determine what dollars can all reduction in Atlantic City, and so that's really the overall theme of the governor's program. Obviously, for the city, for myself, I've got to be concerned with the taxes. That's the number one issue: property tax reduction, and we got to start off by lowering cost of government, and then of course job So the first part of the program, Harry, I've got to tell you, was very good, the summit. 5 major projects that John Hanson is recommending to the governor that get top priority. I'd be happy to list them if you'd want.
Well, how about we'll come to that in just a little bit.
Okay.
We'll get some calls in, 609-407-50 in just a little bit. Also, we're streaming live tonight at WPG1450.com. Some of the things I'm not even going to go into tonight because they're more rumor or conjecture and they're not solidly, predicted or promised at this point. Some of the things, though, we've talked about before, we will get into as the night goes along. But let me ask you this as a sort of comment, Mayor, and you know this all too well. We've talked about this on Hurley in the Morning. We've talked it here on your program. Not long ago, Atlantic City was $20.5 billion tax rateable base.
Right.
You're projecting by the end of this year, going the next year, it's going to be a little bit over $9 billion.
That's correct.
Within a couple of short years ahead, maybe as low as $7 billion.
Could be as low as 7 before we start rising
So
again.
the local purpose tax and the school purpose tax,
out of control, non-sustainable.
relative to the rateable base, what can you do?
Unsustainable. So right now, and when we put out our full recovery plan, what we're saying is that Atlantic City is one of 35 cities in the state of New Jersey. If we look at the other 34 cities in the state of New Jersey, there is aid that's given to each city called contra aid, and there's aid that's given to each of those school districts that's used to be called an Abbott district. Now it's just aid for school districts. If we receive just the proportion that would be the average that the other cities receive, then Atlantic City would have sufficient funds to get through this assessment reduction. And so that's really the key issue. Now, if the state cannot provide us with that contra aid without that school aid, then we have to find other means through the state to help us through. But while we're doing this, we're doing a lot of construction in Atlantic City that will bring back some of the tax base. But that's going to happen in 16 and 17 and 18. We got to get there. And so the next 3 years, just as we did this year, we need to work with the county and the state in giving us additional finances.
Mayor, we did not talk about this before the show. We did not talk about this yesterday. We've not talked about this at any time. And it's my understanding this did happen yesterday. They floated the concept of, quote unquote, an emergency manager. And this person would literally be in control of all the operations of Atlantic City. It's my understanding through reliable sources that were in the room that you were taken by surprise with that. I can't imagine you would have been pleased by that. Were you surprised by that?
Yes. First of all, John Hanson, pretty knowledgeable about Atlantic City. But again, he's not a staff member. Doesn't work for the governor. He's a volunteer. And so he based everything on Pontiac, Michigan. So we're not even in the same state. In the state of Michigan, the term is someone that oversees a city that's in transition, that's in trouble, is called an emergency manager. And so he quoted Pontiac, Michigan as the one city that he thought did a good job and said that they had a emergency manager, and he said he's recommending an emergency manager for Atlantic City. What he doesn't realize is that when a city goes into transitional aid, the governor, through DCA, appoints a state monitor. So I think it's a matter of semantics. What he's calling a emergency manager in the state of New Jersey is called a state monitor.
So this is a distinction without a difference.
Yeah, because
you have Ed Sesdeli.
We have Ed Sesdeli
as a monitor.
Right. So I can't hire someone, fire someone, give them a raise, give them a promotion. I can't sign a contract. I can't write a check without the monitor's approval. And so Ed, I'm sorry, I've never been aware that that's already in place now, and that we've been working since the beginning. And I think I may have told you this, off the air. When I met Ed Sesdeli back in the he reviewed everything that I did with him just because of his knowledge of being a business administrator in another city, PCA, and having worked with the administration in Atlantic City for the last year or two.
Hey, no, there's no doubt. I know him. He's a good man.
Sharp guy.
He was the city administrator in Hamilton Township.
Plus, Harry, I guess when I was with John Hanson, I didn't go into details. But as you know, as I came into Atlantic City, I realized that we needed a business administrator that had nothing to do with Atlantic City, but had been involved with several other cities that had been through transitional aid. And then I looked for a solicitor that, again, had dedicated his life to being just a solicitor. We did we interviewed a number of people for both solicitor and business administrator, and that's how we picked Arch Liston and Jason Holt. And I have to tell you, I can't find two people that are better suited to doing exactly what the governor, what a John Hanson, what Steve Sweeney, and for that matter, I think anyone that uses common sense says we need to do in Atlantic City.
One last hypothetical, because it is really being strongly floated, and I have some very well-placed sources in Trenton that have been telling me that this is really what Trenton wants. And when I interviewed the PBA president, who, by the way, I think we both agree, he's been terrific.
Absolutely.
In terms
Couldn't ask for a better president.
Working with the realities of this fiscal crisis and not throwing his union brothers and sisters under the bus. I think he has walked a tightrope.
Yep.
Just
Paul Barbera, great guy, representing the members of the Atlantic City Police Department extremely well, but also realizing the situation we're in. And since it was floated before that we should regionalize our police department, has done everything he can to make sure that. When I say that doesn't happen, here was the issue. And I want to tell you, Harry, again, I don't think John Hanson was brought up on this, but we have been meeting on a weekly basis with the governor's team. Either we travel up to Trenton or they travel down here, and we talk about specific positions and specific departments. And a week, a good portion of our time is spent on the fire department and the police department, only because that's where most of the cost of government is. Public safety.
Right.
And so back to the police department, Paul Barbera, a number of positions that they're willing to reduce, suggestions that they have on reducing the budget, I believe is going to get us to where we need to be. And the magic numbers was about $15 million in cost reductions for the police department.
Let's try to break this down. If you can get to the number that is, we'll just call it acceptable, for lack of a better term. Does it matter if it's a local Atlantic City Police Department or if the state prefers this metro police department model? See, I'm being told that even if you cut, and this is not an official comment from the state, but sources of mine have said that even if you cut everyone's salary by half, it's still not enough to meet what the state wants to see in terms of the bottom line, and that they are adamant that this be a metro department. Now, you're on record. I'm on record. I think it should stay a local department. You still feel that way, correct?
Right. And let me just comment on that. When we met with the governor's team the first time, what I said is, don't waste my time. If you're telling me, and I'll give you the actual numbers, the cost to do a police department in Atlantic City is $55 million. The cost to do a police department in Camden is $40 million. They wanted us down to the $40 million mark. I said, if we can get down to the $40 million mark and still have good public safety, is that what we're looking for? Or is this already a decision that's been made on the state level? And I was told, no, absolutely. It's about the cost of the police department in Atlantic City. Get down to $40 million. And there's not going to be an issue. And so I went back and spoke with not only the president of the but also the president of the Senior Officers Association and the police chief. And that's exactly what we've been doing, is getting that number down by $15 million.
Do you think, Mayor, that this is going to stay an Atlantic City local-based police department, or is it going to some way turn out that it's going this metro route?
Well, so let me go to the next point there, Harry. Okay. And I think what happened is there was an article that was published, at least statewide, if not nationally, with allegations about problems with internal affairs, with excessive use of force, with problems with our police department. But it sounded as if it was current, and it was really in the past. And when they said that we were the worst police department in the state in terms of these numbers, it really was not a fair statement. And so next week, our police department is going to have an editorial board with the press of Atlantic City, and they're going to go down on every measurable type of crime that the state of New Jersey reports on. And I can tell you, line by line, our police department is going to come out ahead, meaning a reduction in crime since January 1, 20, 30, 40, 50, some cases more than 60% over last year, and a reduction in the use of force, and a reduction in the number of people calling in internal affairs. So I think, first of all, you've got to say, do we have a police department that's broken, or has this police department cleaned themselves act as hard as it is in a 9-month period? And I'm telling you, they cleaned up their act in a 9-month period, and we'll be able to show that statistically against all the other police departments in New Jersey. So that's part one. Part two
Let me jump in there, though. Here's what my sources tell me, though. Nobody in the state is buying that Atlantic City is a bad police department. I think there's a lot of respect. You talk about your tactical divisions and all the different investigative units and everything.
Patrols.
This is not an issue of, they're great. They're a great police department. That's national, just pick on Atlantic City baloney. I understand the Metro desire is about dollars, about structuring it, having a blank canvas to structure it from square one and spend a lot less money and provide the same service.
So I don't think you can just as easily provide the same service. And I'll just give you a couple examples. Harry, you're Atlantic City boy, like so many other people. So you fire every member of the police department in Atlantic City like you did in Camden. You bring out all these new people, or at least 50% are new and things like that. And someone's going to call and says, hey, I just want to let you know, I saw a guy, he was shooting dope, and he climbed in the tunnel at the Old Dennis Hotel. Is a guy even going to know what I'm talking about?
They won't even know how to get there.
But a local guy is going to know the one underneath the boardwalk and things. If I said, I'm having a problem on Trent where terrorists find it on the map. So the concept of having a police department that's local and that's doing a good job and willing to take substantial cuts across the board in order to meet the financial needs is the way to go.
All right, we've got to get your calls in. Just absolute last follow-up, and then we get the callers on. We have some more questions for later in the hour. How hard are you going to fight to keep it a local Atlantic City Police Department?
I'm going to fight very hard. They're doing a very good job. And in the report, the one line that I read that Harry had said is you should consider every service in Atlantic City, and you should either regionalize or you should privatize when it makes sense. In this case, it just don't make sense.
Listeners, Carl, John, Tom, and Jason, in that order, you're going to be with us in just a little bit. We have Atlantic County Freeholder Ernest Corsi, who would like to speak on Ask the Mayor. Freeholder, welcome. Mayor Don Guardian is here in the air.
First of all, let me just say good evening. It's an honor to be able to talk to two mayors on the same show at one time. And I just wanted to voice and want to call in Harry to say to Mayor Guardian, I feel compelled to call in because I think as a resident, as a taxpayer, a guy who served in local government in Atlantic City, I am compelled that they are not giving you the necessary tools to do what it is that you need to do. You have attempted to move forward in terms of reducing the amount of employees for the city of Atlantic City, and then to come out of the blue to talk about bringing in a state manager, a manager to manage Atlantic City. And I agree with you, Mayor Guardian. What is the difference between the manager and the state monitor? Either the governor doesn't trust his monitor, or this is some way attempt to bring somebody in to get another paying job. But be aside of that, I think you hit the nail on the head when you talk in terms of the police department. I think we have a department that's second to none under the leadership of Chief Henry White. I believe that at the end of the day, we have some good, caring city employees. I was on the talk show this weekend, and I made a comment, those who can get out and retire go and do it, and I caught some flack from it. But my point of calling in there, Guardian, is that I encourage you to stay the course. I support you wholeheartedly in terms of I'm against this county police because I haven't seen where in the city, in the county of Camden, where they got rid of the city Camden Police Department and made the Metro. And from what I've been told, those municipalities up there, whether it's Cherry Hill, Voorhees, they still run their own police department. So it's really not a Metro Police Department. But I want to encourage you to stay the course. You walked into something in 10 months, 11 months. You have very little time to attempt to turn some things around. I think that at the end of the day, if they give you the tools you need to work with, you'll be able to get some things done. But don't blindside you like they did in this meeting yesterday to talk about a manager to come into the city of Atlantic City. That's just one issue. You talk about shared services. I got that. Whether it's the health department, whether it's some other departments throughout the city. Let's talk about that kind of stuff. But give you the opportunity to run the city. So, and Harry, in closing, let me just say this. If, in fact, you're talking about bringing in a manager, then you have a mayor sitting there and a council sitting there, basically becomes moot because the manager controls and make all the decisions. I think it's unfair to voters, taxpayers, and certainly citizens of Atlantic City when they duly elected people to represent them. And then you got the outside sources calling the shots for Atlantic City. We would agree times are not good now, but give the mayor, his administration, the opportunity to attempt to try to do what they think is good for Atlantic City. And then if we need additional help from the state, ask them. But don't pull the old mafia type thing and just come in and run roughshod over the residents of Atlantic City. Finally, let me just say this. I asked for a town hall meeting with Governor Chris Christie with all members of the board. It was a 9-0 vote. We have yet to get a response back. We would like for the governor to come down and listen to what the residents of Atlantic City has to say. They're making decisions for Atlantic City, but no real input from the citizens of Atlantic City. And I certainly continue to make that challenge. Mayor, as your freeholder, as a resident of Atlantic City, I stand willing, even if we got to take it on by myself. I think that they ought to give you the opportunity to do what it is you need to do to move Atlantic City forward. Keep up the good work, keep the faith, and keep believing in Atlantic City, because I believe Atlantic City's best days are still ahead of us.
Freeholder, thank you. Freeholder Ernie. Mayor, comment?
Thank you, Freeholder. Thank you for your support. And obviously, we're on the same page. The best days are ahead. These are troubled waters. We're going to get out of them, and we just need to be working together.
Back to your calls. Carl, you're on the air with Mayor Don Guardian. Ask the mayor. Go right ahead.
Okay, I want to revisit a question I asked you last month. How many less students are there in Atlantic City? Because less students should equal less teachers and less administrators, which means you wouldn't need more school aid. It would just mean they wouldn't get that money anymore because they don't need it because there's less students. Do you have the answer?
Yes, there are 7,000 students in Atlantic City, and if you add all of the cost that taxpayers pay, and you divide it by 7,000 students, you get $28,000. If you use the state formula, you're still around $25,000, $4,000 or $5,000 more than any other city in the state of New Jersey.
Incidentally, I understand this is probably breaking news. It's not been said publicly, but again, a well-placed source of mine in Trenton, Mayor, and I want to thank Carl because I think I would have forgotten this. This show was so intense already, and we have so many calls to get to for you, Mayor. You're a popular guy, as you know. But I understand Atlantic City is going to be an Abbott school district. That is a game changer, Mr. Mayor.
That is a game changer.
Huge.
I just want to say there's no longer an Abbott district, but that same funding source is available. Atlantic City always should have been receiving these funding. And let me tell you that, the best deal now is $30 million, $40 million. That's what we're talking about. Coming to the school district needs to go back all $40 million to taxpayers. That's the tax relief. The Board of Education should be taking this $40 million, and they should be adding another $10 to $20 million onto it, reducing their costs. They haven't reduced costs over the years.
An open phone line for Mayor Guardian at 609-407-1450. We have a number of your tweets, your emails to WPG1450.com. And again, you can always, there's so many ways to reach the program. You can tweet Mayor Guardian right now at WPG using hashtag WPG Ask the Mayor. And a reminder, and Kyle McCann, our executive director here of this program, does a phenomenal stream. We're streaming live right now. So on your smartphone, your iPad, your desktop, laptop, put us on in real-time video and audio. Very, very nice stream right now at WPG1450.com. Before we get John on, who is next for Mayor Guardian, we are doing, Mayor Guardian is aware of this. He's a partner with us in this. We are doing a Town Square Media Atlantic City, what I think is just a phenomenal effort. I want to congratulate my president, Mike Rubel, my executive program director, Chris Coleman, Jennifer Smith, who is our fabulous marketing and promotions director here. We're doing something because thousands of people are hurting right now, Mayor. As you well know, a lot of them are your residents, but they're spread out all over our counties. And these are folks that have lost their job. And at this beautiful time of year when we're all going to be celebrating with our families and enjoying big Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners, there are a lot of people that are hurting very badly. So at Town Square Media, we are doing an effort which we want folks to be a part of. Feed a Family, a Town Square Media program that you're going to be hearing more about starting tomorrow on Hurley in the Morning. If you go to WPG1450.com, right beneath the program lineup where you see Sean Hannity's pictures on right now, and then my picture is on there with the weekday lineup, right below you will see a link to Feed a Family. Click on the link and you can participate. And Mayor, I want to thank you.
I'm looking forward to being back on November 24th on your sister station, 96.6 WPG, to promote the program.
And 96.9 too.
I'm sorry.
And you're going to swing on by and hit all the stations that morning.
I will.
Which will be just
Absolutely.
Great. You just walk right down the line. We'll get you out quick, 5 minutes or so on each. John, welcome to the program. It is your turn to ask the mayor.
All right, thank you. Mayor Don, about 5 years ago, a little shy of that, the governor put Atlantic City on a turnaround plan. This was long before the casinos started closing one by one. My question to you, Mayor Don, is Christie still committed to Atlantic City trying to do a rebound, and is presidential aspirations distracting him from this blueprint?
All right, John, thanks for the question, Mayor.
Thanks, John. I haven't found anyone to be more cooperative than Governor Christie. He met with me after I was first elected. I've been to Trenton several times. He's been down to Atlantic City several times. Very committed to moving Atlantic City forward. Certainly tough times with 4 of the casinos closing. The Taj on the brink of closing. But that's part of the proliferation of casinos everywhere else and casino properties that haven't reinvested in themselves. But the governor is looking, and I think if we have time during the program, we'll talk about 5 major new developments that I think will be game changers for Atlantic City.
Well, we'll do that. We'll get a lightning round of calls in, and we'll block out some time for you to be able to do that, Thanks. Mayor. It's Mayor Don Guardian. It's Ask the Mayor. We come your way monthly in the month of December. Mayor Guardian will be here in the 6 o'clock hour on Wednesday, December 10th. Put it down in your schedule. It's relevant. It's important. I mean, you couldn't have timed this any better with everything that is going on to be able to have this hour and 5 minutes with Mayor Guardian, willing to take my tough questions and yours at 609-407-1450. Welcome, Tom. You are on the air with Mayor Don Guardian on WPG Talk Radio 1450.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, Tom.
Yes, Mayor, first of all, there's nobody out there that doesn't realize that you came into a situation that is just extremely. I don't know of any person coming into office to lead a city who's had a worse situation they walked into. So we certainly appreciate everything and anything that you're trying to do to revitalize Atlantic City and bring jobs back to the people of this area. My question is, in the past, Atlantic City has, when it comes to different industries and bringing back a certain industry to fill hotels and to bring people to this town, we never really touched into a theater district in Atlantic City. I know some casinos bring in Broadway shows that were part of national tours. In our area alone, there are performing arts centers popping up all over the place because there's a real thirst and a booming youth that is interested in the arts and in performances and things of that nature. Is there any way or any thought of creating actually a theater district in Atlantic City where Atlantic City could be, where people would want to come and maybe go to a concert on Saturday, but then stay to go to a high class Broadway performance?
So, Tom, I have to tell you, not only have I never thought of that, but you're the first person now, after 10 months, after seeing about 20 people every day and another 50 people at night, that have brought that idea up. I think it's a tremendous idea. I know that old-timers in Atlantic City tell me that this was the last stop before Broadway for many years in Atlantic City. And I can tell you that, with the idea of both the ballet coming back, the art squads, and Dante Hall, and now, Stockton coming back in, and the Claridge opening up their theater, I think you're right on the money here. I am going to figure this out tonight and figure out who I have to start talking about. But I think bringing Broadway shows back to Atlantic City would be great. I worked at the Claridge. I worked at the Claridge during the time frame that they had Broadway shows, and that theater was filled to capacity 7 days a week.
Yes, absolutely. One of the things, because the free concerts were tremendous, but one of the things that I noticed, and you guys probably have the numbers, I saw an awful lot of traffic right after the concerts, coming out of Atlantic City. So I don't know how many hotel rooms were actually filled, but you give an opportunity to, because a lot of the families, you look at social media, those free concerts, they weren't just, teenagers, rock and roll, they were families that were coming for, really good country groups and things like that.
Tom, we got to jump. We got to get to break.
Just quickly on Tom, we were counting because of luxury tax dollars that came in between Thursday and Sunday, between Blake Sheldon and Lady Antebellum, $22.5 million into Atlantic City.
There you go. That's the P&L. And it's very true. And even though you see a lot of people leave right away, believe me, a lot of people booked rooms. They stayed the day before, a lot of people. It was very, very solid, the bottom line. All right, our callers know who they are. Jason, you are next right after the break. Dee, you're going to be on right after that. A lot more ground to cover with Mayor Don Gordon. We're going to get to the social media portion of the program as well at WPG1450.com. Your tweets, your Facebook questions, your emails to our station's website. And a reminder, if you can help our Feed a Family, hearing much more about this on all 5 Town Square Media Atlantic City radio stations. We're going to be pushing it very heavy. 6 o'clock hour during Hurley in the morning and all during tomorrow's program. It is an opportunity for those that have not been as adversely affected as many of our friends and neighbors to just help out a little bit from a lot of people will go a long way this holiday season. And we have a special 10 o'clock hour next Wednesday that I'm going to tell you during Hurley in the morning. We're going to do a bonus live hour in the 10 o'clock hour. And it's not only going to be a whole lot of fun, but we're going to raise much needed funds for this Feed a Family effort. We're working in partnership with all Town Square Media Atlantic City radio stations and the Atlantic City Rescue Mission. We'll be back with Mayor Don Guardian and your calls. Jason, I promise you're next. Dee, you're going to follow right after.
It's time to ship out and have some fun. WPG Talk Radio 1450 is giving you the chance to choose your cruise. Imagine sailing away to Hawaii, the Bahamas, Bermuda, Jamaica, Grand Cayman, or even Cozumel. Go to WPG1450.com and enter to win. A select group of finalists will join us at our Choose Your Cruise party at Providence Club AC at Tropicana. Choose your cruise now at WPG1450.com.
The Casino Reinvestment Development Authority is building a better future for our region through strategic initiatives to reposition Atlantic City as a clean and safe, multifaceted, year-round destination and community. Just because the calendar says summer is over doesn't mean the fun has to end. Enjoy Atlantic City's secret season with refreshing walks on the boardwalk and beach, great shopping at Tanger Outlets, an early morning bike ride on the boardwalk, spectacular bayfront views at historic Gardner's Basin, and much more. Exciting entertainment is on tap for this fall with championship boxing, AHL hockey, the annual Classic Car Show, world-class concerts featuring Usher and Alanis Morissette, and free nightly 3D light and sound shows. Meanwhile, the CRDA continues to invest in Atlantic City with the repaving of Pacific Avenue, Atlantic Avenue facade improvements, and construction of nearly 400 new housing units, Bass Pro Shops, Harrah's Conference Center, and the Lighthouse District Park. Don't stop believing AC.
Keeping you and your business safe and sound is the job of Abeta Security. Try your luck in Atlantic City, but never gamble on your security. Abeta Security is the company that keeps Atlantic City secure. They're a full-service security firm with a focus on customer service and training. Abeta Security will come to your business and provide recommendations to maximize the return on your security investment, recognizing that each property and event is unique. Abeta Security is based in Atlantic City, located in the heart of the redevelopment zone. As Abeta Security continues to expand, they offer a myriad of career opportunities and are actively hiring quality candidates for all positions: uniform security, event staff, shift supervisors, and account managers. Go to abetasecurity.com to apply today. Abeta Security, located at 520 Pacific Avenue in the Bella Building in Atlantic City. Online at abetasecurity.com. Abeta Security would like to wish everyone a happy, healthy, and safe holiday season. Abeta Security for Atlantic City.
WPG Talk Radio 1450 presents Ask the Mayor, presented by the New Jersey Casino Reinvestment Development Authority and Abeta Security. To talk to Mayor Guardian, call 407-1450. Now, with Atlantic City Mayor Don Guardian, here's Harry Hurley.
Hey, thank you very much. Abeta Security will keep you and your business safe and sound. Try your luck in Atlantic City, but never gamble on your safety with Abeta Security. Online at abetasecurity.com, ABATI security.com. This incredibly challenging environment, Greg and Chris, they're hiring in basically every job classification. We're also brought to you by the Casino Reinvestment Development Authority, building a better future for Atlantic City. The Casino Reinvestment Development Authority is a proud sponsor of today's Ask the Mayor program, and we are jammed. Chris Coleman is bringing in our executive program director, email and social tweets and WPG1450.com email questions, and of course, we have you standing by on the phone lines. Jason, you're on with Mayor Don Guardian. Thank you for holding.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Hurley, how are you? Thank you for taking my call.
Certainly.
Good evening, Jason.
Mr. Mayor, I just want to let you know I voted for you, and I had a Don Guardian political sign on my lawn. I'm a single-family homeowner here in Atlantic City.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for what you've been doing. But the point of my call is to really stress to what my neighbors have been telling me, that you know, this talk of this Metro Police Department is such a horrible idea, not only for us, the residents, but for the outsiders, because I'm getting calls from my friends from out of town, and they're telling me they're hearing about it, and they're hearing it as it's a comparison to Camden. And they're saying really as bad down there as it is in Camden, and your city needs a Metro Police Department. And I have to go into the reasons of why Atlantic City is flourishing and why we're jumping leaps and bounds. But I don't understand how we can let this governor come in here and tell us literally to sit down and shut up. I mean, don't I get a vote? Don't I get a decision in who polices my city that I pay taxes in and that I own in?
All right, Jason, let me jump in over to the mayor. And before we throw Governor Christie under the bus, who has been the best friend to Atlantic City, I've been on this station basically for most of my 25 years. And in this market for 25 years, I've known them all. And some of them have been good. Chris Christie has been great. And before we set them on fire and set them out to sea, they haven't done any of this yet. So in fairness, Mayor, it's a little bit overheated to trash the governor.
It is,
when
and
he has been as supportive as he has been.
Yes, I can't be more supportive of our police department, and it's not just because I want to have control over the police department, it's because they deserve our support. They're doing a good job, and they're meeting all the financial needs that they're being asked to do.
Can I add, these are not mutually exclusive things. You can be very supportive of the great men and women of the Atlantic City Police Department and support our great Governor Christie.
Yes, absolutely.
This is not an us or them, us against them. I realize that some things have been made public that are very speculative in nature. None of it's been confirmed. Governor Christie was very, very clear in his Town Square media comments that he hasn't made any decisions yet. He is expecting to make some executive decisions in the next few days to the next 60 days, and he's expecting some legislative action, but none of this has happened yet.
No, and the governor had said he's receiving this report for the first time yesterday, and he's going to take the time to meet with me as the mayor and with Denny Levinson as the county executive, and that he was going to call the first week in January and tell them what he plans to do to help Atlantic City.
Mayor, this is probably worth a minute here, and then we'll get Dee, and then we also have Maggie that's holding to get on with you next. For those that might be under the false impression that, you got blindsided yesterday and there's a serial relationship, I don't think that's accurate.
No, it's not. I want to tell you that I did know what was coming yesterday, and that clearly they did not want to make any presentations until after John Hanson had spoke and made his recommendation. So it was the first time that I heard it, but I've been only feeling good about the support that I've gotten from both the governor and the president of the Senate.
And the tenor, and I have read the whole report, the tenor of this report, I mean, there are some things in there that some people will quibble about, but you can't deny the numbers. I mean, the number of ratables and everything that is very well laid out. There's some very nice pieces of information about occupancy over a period of time, ratables over a period of time. And the bottom line here is that the police department in Atlantic City does a great job. And I don't think the state has made a firm decision yet that it will go to a metro department. I honestly think that it seems like they're leaning that way.
I think they were leaning that way after the first the first summit, and that was because the information that they had been last year's records. So they were looking at a police department that wasn't doing what it should do, and they were being told that the police department, the police chief, the PBA, was not willing to cooperate. And I have to tell you that I couldn't ask for a better relationship with my police department, my police chief, and my PBA.
609-407-1450. Let me just throw this out, not save it till the end of the program or anything dramatic. First of all, let me preface this by saying I don't think you deserve what I'm about to say. But multiple sources confirmed to me quite a while ago that right after the new year, you're going to be the subject of a recall. Now, that's your reward for working 18 to 20 hours a day, 7 days a week. I don't think it's warranted, but I think it is going to happen. If that were to happen 1 year to the day of you taking office, how will you react to that?
Well, I think what happens is I've got to do a better job of talking about what we've done this year. And although it's been a very, very tough year, the police department is one of the things I worked very hard to turn around. When we talk about housing, we talked about 51 units of housing over the last 5 years. By the spring, we're going to have 500 new homes under construction, and 300 of those homes are going to be for either low-income families, which is affordable housing, or it's going to be for workforce housing. If we about the roads, which were deplorable, we have paved more roads in Atlantic City in the last 10 months than we have in the last 10 years. So if we're talking about records, I established a job placement officer and a committee that will be kicking off in December, and we'll be having a job fair in January to help find jobs for Atlantic City residents. I've been working very hard with every business to try to bring them to Atlantic City. I've worked with the college after the university. This is Stockton, had decided early on that we were not going to be coming to Atlantic City, and now I can give you the good news that they have a intent to buy the showboat and 25 acres of property to bring a university to our city. I told you we're going to piece together 22 acres at Gardner's Basin beyond the 4 acres that they have, so that we can bring a world-class new venue, a seaport to Gardner's Basin that's going to be comparable to Baltimore's Inner Harbor. I've taken every chance I have to reduce the cost of government I've accepted the hard fact that I have to lay off people. We have to do away with the departments. I've been I can to help make things better. I've been working with our not-for-profit organizations, with our faith-based organizations. So I think that I've done everything I can as a mayor to make this a better city. And I understand that I am a Republican in an all Democrat town, but I have to tell you that I don't think it's fair that it's happening. And I think that, from all the people I talk to, they don't want to see the city go.
I'm glad you said that.
I just want to tell you that, I've been working very closely with Senator Booker, with Senator Menendez, with Congressman Biondo. I cross the aisle all the time. I have no idea sometimes whether I'm talking to a Democrat or Republican. All I'm concerned about is making this a better city for my residents.
I'm glad you said what you said, because it was very strong. And when something that's unjust is brought forward, I think it should be responded to like that. Here's my theory. My theory about a recall is when there's malfeasance, misfeasance, when there's some kind of corruption, some kind of terrible wrongdoing, you inherited, and you don't make excuses or complain about anything that's happened before you. You didn't close 4 casinos. If the Taj closes on December 15, close the Taj. You have worked tirelessly. I don't think there's a legitimate reason to recall.
And Harry, I'm telling you from a personal standpoint, you know this and stuff. The mayor's salary was increased to $143,000. I didn't take that salary. I'm taking $40,000 less. That's why I can talk to people about taking cuts. I took a 40% cut. I'm the mayor of the city. I don't take a city car home. My car is 11 years old. It has 110,000 miles on it. It's just not the right time for me to be moving in a new car.
You did mention something, and I'm wondering if this one aspect could trump anything else, reality or performance or effort, anything else. And that is basically somewhere in the neighborhood of 8-1, 9-1, 10-1. Democrats outnumber Republicans in Atlantic City. Could this recall effort defeat you no matter what you've done, no matter what you say?
I think that
like a second election at you, basically.
I think what happens when it comes time, you're going to see that although these are tough times, I'll be very happy to take anybody on and ask them what they would do differently if they think I could do anything more than I'm doing right now. And that is certainly working with everyone we can to try to move the city forward. I think this is a personal agenda of some people, and I'm sorry for it. I'm sorry that they're bitter, but I've said I was going to be a mayor for everyone, and that's exactly what I've tried to do all along in things. There's no friends and family that I've hired. There's no one that lost their job because they didn't vote for me or they were active politically in the campaign. They didn't get a demotion. They didn't lose their job. They didn't have to worry about any repercussions, and that's why there's no lawsuits against the city as they have been in the past.
So you will fight this vigorously?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
609-407-1450. It's Ask the Mayor. And when you ask the mayor a question, you get an answer with Mayor Don Guardian of Atlantic City. I'm Hurley in the evening. We'll be Hurley in the morning in just a few hours. It's 47 minutes past the hour. The mayor will be here until 5 minutes past 7. And he's taking your phone calls right now, 609-407-1450. D, it's time to ask the mayor. You're on.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Harry. Harry, listen, you want a picture of that train? Did you get a picture of the train with the juvenile immigrants?
Say again?
Have you seen a picture of the juvenile immigrants from Mexico down that way?
Yes.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I have one. I was going to send it to you. Mayor, have you seen the school budget?
Have you seen?
Have I seen the school budget? Yeah. No, I have not,
Right.
D.
How do we see it?
I have not
Is
seen
there
it.
a copy? Aren't we allowed to see it?
Here's how you see it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can call the Board of Education, and I think you can download a copy of it, but you can certainly call them.
Computer literate, yeah.
Okay, well, that's fine. You call the Board of Education tomorrow morning and tell them you want a copy of your Board of Education budget, and they'll produce it for you, and you'll pick it up.
Right. Now, as to the recall, we're keeping you. We're not throwing you back.
Thank you,
There's no way it's going to go down now. There's no way there's no complaints about you. There's no way they're going to be able to do that. So don't worry about it. We're keeping you, Mayor. Have a nice night.
Thank you very much, Steve. God bless.
609-407-1450. Let's say good evening to Maggie. Kaleem is on deck. Maggie, good evening.
Hi, good evening. Hi, Mayor. It's Maggie. So I I agree with you about the police in Atlantic City. I've been an Atlantic City girl since I was a kid. I worked in Atlantic City. I've recently had several contacts with the cops, and all good. So, no problems. But they've always been helpful. I'm a nurse, and I used to do home care and hospital, and the cops were always so professional. And I don't think you would get that level with cops who are not from this area, because they know their neighborhood. So I definitely agree with you about that. And now I had a question for the mayor,
okay,
if I may.
Yeah, please.
I don't know if you were aware about when they first opened the casinos, there was a company that was willing to impose the boardwalk. And for some reason, it was turned down, and it wasn't, it just wasn't approved. And I was thinking, with all our advancements in, architecture and, all kinds of stuff, why would we not want to do something like that? It would improve, it would improve the commerce on the boardwalk. It could be decorated for Christmas. It could be removed in the springtime, and it could also be heated with solar, and you might even get like an extra little bonus from the government. So I just wanted to hear your thoughts on something like that. I think it would be great for business, but it's more business than the casinos.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Maggie.
Thanks, Maggie. I certainly work with a lot of wonderful engineers in the city, and I'm going to bounce this off of them as I meet them next couple of weeks. And next month, when I'm back on the show, I think it's December 10th.
December 10th.
Thank you.
Wednesday.
On December 10th, I'll have an answer for you.
Maggie, thank you for the question. Thanks for listening to Ask the Mayor. It's Town Square Media, WPG Talk Radio 1450, the monthly broadcast Ask the Mayor, which gives you the opportunity to have direct access to Atlantic City Mayor Don Guardian. Pose your questions by calling us, as many have done. Kaleem is going to be next right after the break. He'll be followed up by Frank. You can next at 609-407-1450. The phone lines have been blazing, and we'll do our best to get some of our social media points of contact. The digital participation is off the charts this week.
WPG Talk Radio 1450 is South Jersey's talk station, and the only station that brings you South Jersey news, information, and your AccuWeather forecast every 30 minutes all day long. When you need to know what's happening here in South Jersey, tune to 1450 AM at the top and bottom of. And for news as it breaks, visit WPG1450.com and WPG Talk Radio 1450, South Jersey's talk station.
Keeping you and your business safe and sound is the job of Abeta Security. Try your luck. Never gamble on your security. Abeta Security is the company that keeps Atlantic City secure. They're a full-service security firm with a focus on customer service and training. Security will come to your business and provide recommendations to maximize the return on your security investment, recognizing that each property and event is unique. Abeta Security is based in Atlantic City, located in the heart of the redevelopment zone. As Abeta Security continues to expand, they offer a myriad of career opportunities and are actively hiring quality candidates for all positions: uniform security, event staff, shift supervisors, and account managers. Go to abetasecurity.com to apply today. Abeta Security, located at 520 Pacific Avenue in the Belle, Atlantic City. Online at abetasecurity.com. Abeta Security would like to wish everyone a happy, healthy, and safe holiday season. Abeta Security in Atlantic City for Atlantic City.
The Casino Reinvestment Development Authority is building a better future for our region through strategic initiatives to reposition Atlantic City as a clean and safe, multifaceted, year-round destination and community. Just because the calendar says summer is over doesn't mean the fun has to end. Enjoy Atlantic City's secret season with refreshing walks on the boardwalk and beach, great shopping at Tanger Outlets, an early morning bike ride on the boardwalk, spectacular bayfront views at historic Gardeners Basin, and much more. Exciting entertainment is on tap for this fall with championship boxing, AHL hockey, the annual classic car show, world-class concerts featuring Usher and Alanis Morissette, and free nightly 3D light and sound shows. Meanwhile, the CRDA continues to invest in Atlantic City with the repaving of Pacific Avenue, Atlantic Avenue facade improvements, and construction of nearly 400 new housing units, Bass Pro Shops, Harrah's Conference Center, and the Lighthouse District Park. Don't stop believing AC.
WPG Talk Radio 1450 presents Ask the Mayor, presented by the New Jersey Casino Reinvestment Development Authority and Alphatus Security. To talk to Mayor Guardian, call 407-1450. Now, with Atlantic City Mayor Don Guardian, here's Harry Hurley.
Thank God the mayor's staying 5 minutes overtime. I mean, we're at 54 minutes past the hour. Alphatus Security will keep you and your business safe and sound. Try your luck in Atlantic City, but never gamble on your safety with Alphatus Security online at alphatussecurity.com. And a reminder, Greg and Chris, they're awesome, and they are in a very challenging, obviously, fiscal environment that all of us are participating in these days. They've been hiring in almost every single job classification, which is amazing. They're growing in the throes of a great recession. And we're brought to you by the Casino Reinvestment Development Authority, committed to Atlantic City's future. The Casino Reinvestment Development Authority is proud to support today's Ask the Mayor program right here on WPG Talk Radio 1450 and at WPG1450.com, where we are streaming live audio and video. Kaleem, you're on the air. Ask the Mayor, Don Guardian.
Good evening, Harry, and good evening, Mayor Guardian.
Good evening.
Oh?
Yeah, Kaleem, you're on.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to support what Freeholder Corsi and other people have said. 3 points, really. Mayor, I think that you should stand strong on the county police idea. That might have been a good idea for Camden, but Atlantic City is not Camden. We have a different crime perspective and demographic than Camden. We have a much different relationship between the police and the community than Camden. And therefore, our situation requires a different solution than Camden. I'm also, as a taxpayer and a resident of Atlantic City, sensitive to the economic issue and the tax issues, and I think you should be given credit for the work that you're doing with the PBA and the police to reduce the cost. And I agree with you. As long as our model reduces costs, then I think our model should remain the same. The other point I wanted to bring up, I think you should remain with your position on the economic officer. I am glad that the president of the Senate and the governor and other people recognize our dire situation. And although their proposal is well meant, I don't really think it fits into our situation. And if you would have an economic officer, that would really almost cancel out the duties of the mayor and the BA and even the city council. So I hope that we can not have people overreact to our situation, and we continue to work in harmony and a bipartisan cooperative spirit as we move forward, as you have been doing the last 9 months since you've been in office, Mayor. I don't really have a question, but that was my comment, and I just hope that we're able to continue to stay focused and move forward in Atlantic City.
Kaleem, you're saying in so many words, but let me put you on the spot because you're not afraid to be put on the spot all the years that you have been a community leader. What are your thoughts about a recall effort of Mayor Don Guardian?
Well, Harry, that's a good question. Let me give the short answer. I think the short answer is that I can't see anything that the mayor has done that would justify, substantiate, or call for a recall. The longer answer is, of course, this is America. Everyone has the right to discourse. Everyone has the right to petition their government. Everyone has the right to get involved. But I think it's better if people want to get involved in the electoral level, they should run for office. And when the term is up, they should run.
All right, Kaleem, let me jump in only because of time. Good to talk to you. Always good to hear your voice. Mayor Guardian, any comment about Kaleem?
No, Kaleem, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate all the work that you've done, probably your whole adult life as a community activist and a community leader in Atlantic City.
Mayor, I promise you would have the time to do this. Make it as brief as you can so we can at least take 2 more calls. We're going to go to Frank first. We're going to go to Alice second. I apologize. Last month we featured many more social media and electronic communications at the program than we were able to do this week. I knew what tonight was going to be like. It has just been relentless. Mayor, you want to talk about 5 developments, if you could.
Yep, just 5 developments real quick. First of all, talk about the Albany Avenue site, the high school, as well as the other property that's vacant there, about 8 acres altogether, proposing 125,000 square foot office on the first floor, perfect $60 million building. It'll create jobs for 300 people. The plaza, take it down. We've always wanted to see the boardwalk from Atlantic Avenue. You always wanted to connect the north and south. You always wanted to connect the new walk and continue Tanger's outlet right down, create this wonderful entertainment zone like they have in Philadelphia and at Northern Liberties, and have a wonderful shows there. When they're not shows, fill it with food trucks and carts and perfect use. We never could afford to do it. Now the plaza's closed. Now's the time to do it. Take the property that's right next to the medical center, now that Geisinger and Atlantic Care are one. Let's work on bringing a medical school along with the dormitory for nurses and for medical students right there. It's a game changer for Atlantic City. It'll be 260,000 square feet, another $12.5 million. It'll be 300 construction jobs. And you'll have about 600 people involved in a medical school. Showboat, real exciting time. Stockton signed a letter of intent to buy the Showboat and 25 acres. It's going to give us the university we always wanted. It expands the footprint for them. And then finally, Gardner's Basin, putting 2 acres together, maybe a little bit more. Public and private developers over there. It should be the Gardner's Basin that we've always talked about. 5 big projects. They all can come about in the next couple of years. It should be everything we work for. It's how we expand our market.
Let me take a quick moment to thank all of our listeners. We appreciate you more than words can say. We have such a great company behind us here at Town Square Media that we have amazing equipment. We can monitor in real time the digital stream traffic of listeners. It is extraordinary, the number of listeners right now just at WPG1450.com. That doesn't count celestial radio listeners on 1450 frequency band, AM band at WPG Talk Radio 1450. The numbers are just blowing up right now, and we want to thank you for that. Hey, Frank, it is your turn to ask the mayor. He's here. You're up.
Thank you, gentlemen. Good evening, Mayor.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Mayor. I'd like to ask, what are they talking about when they mention redirecting the Alliance's money?
Sure. So the Alliance right now is $30 million that there's 2 propositions. One was on the floated by the president, Senator Sweeney. He said, as good as the work as the Alliance has done, as much as we appreciate the special events that they put on, the marketing that they're doing, we're bleeding because of the amount of debt that the city has because of all of the tax appeals the casino won. And so he's saying, take that $30 million, apply it to the debt of the city. If you take John Hanson's recommendation, he says cut it from $30 million down to $15 million and dedicate the $15 million, rededicate the $15 million to promoting activities on the boardwalk.
Well, I would say it's a good thing to promote things on the boardwalk, but I would be not in favor of taking any money away from tourism, because right now we suffer from having a lack of tourism.
Frank, let me jump in. I'm going to tell you, I didn't read between the lines. I took that comment right between the eyes, how I interpreted it. That was basically the Atlantic City Alliance was being called out. I'm going to say that. I think they were being called out, and they're not looking to redirect any money from tourism. I think that was a shot over the bow, that maybe they're taking a look at the structure of the Atlantic City Alliance. That's what I think, Mayor.
I've worked with Liza and Jeff.
I'm not putting Liza Cartmel down or Jeff or any of them, but I think that's what that comment was. So redirecting meant you won't be doing that. It'll be happening another way. That's what I think.
I think people just realize that the tax situation is so dire in Atlantic City, although we don't want to move the money there, that we have to, because we have to stop the bleeding.
Mayor, there's something that's coming to our fair town in the very near future. November 18, 19, and 20, it will be the 99th annual conference of the New Jersey State League of Municipalities. And once again, it shows that Atlantic City is the world's playground. WPG, no pun intended, or I should say pun intended, It is the world's playground. This is where we shine, where everybody comes in. It's the 99th gathering of this auspicious, august body, and I want to give you an opportunity to comment about it.
Yep. We're welcoming back the League of Municipalities. We lost them just 1 year after Sandy. They love Atlantic City. They could go anywhere in the state of New Jersey, for that matter. They could travel to Philly or New York. They come back every year because they have a great time. I'm looking forward to seeing my fellow mayors along with all of the senators and assemblymen. It's a great time for me to work, to do a little lobbying for my city to make sure that they understand that we're trying to work real hard, and Atlantic City is good for Atlantic County, South Jersey, and for that matter, all of New Jersey.
Let me give just a shout out on our final minute or so that we have Mayor too, because I don't think they get enough credit for the great job they're doing, because a lot of their work is booked out years and years from now. But for example, College Fair and the Association of Speech and Hearing in town right now at the Atlantic City Convention Center. Teachers were in before that.
50th anniversary, and I want to tell you, 45 years ago, I went to the College Fair here, and that's how I picked up Solid College, based on the people that were in that booth.
Mayor, give us we have about a minute or so. Give us the latest regarding Trump Taj Mahal Casino Resort. It looks pretty bad from my parking spot. What can you say? Does it look like the Taj is going to close?
Yeah, that's what I hear. And so now I just got to be hopeful that they do the construction that they need and they open up in the spring. But I don't think they're able to reach accommodations with the union, and I don't think the funding was available. It's very sad. I hate to see the people be put out of jobs. I'm going to do everything I can to work to bring it back open again. Harry, I know we're out of time. I want to thank Town Media, you personally, WPG Talk Radio, 1450 AM. You've been listening to Ask the Mayor with Mayor Don Guardian. I'll be back on November 24th to join you on WFPG, your sister station at 96.9, and other stations to promote the Thanksgiving giveaway. I commend all of you guys for the food you're going to be raising, and I'll see you December 10th back for Ask the Mayor on WPG.
Well done, Mayor. Thank you. That's Mayor Don Guardian. It is Ask the Mayor. We will be back Wednesday, December 10th at 6 p.m. taking your phone calls, your comments, your questions for Mayor Guardian, both here on the phone lines and, of course, through all the digital forms that Town Square Media owns in the metro market. Dave Ramsey continues next. See you tomorrow.
Broadcasting from the world's playground, this is WPG Talk Radio 1450, WPGG Atlantic, and WPG1450.com.